Good morning, student. This is Anjali, Assistant Professor, Department of CSE AIML, IARE, Hyderabad. Today we are going to learn about the vectors and matrices. In last session, we have seen that applications of data science, which are telling about the uses of the data science. Nowadays, data science is used in different sections, in different departments like healthcare, even advanced speech and image processing. After that, it is used for again character recognition. After that, nowadays data science is used in recommendation systems also. Recommendation system. Even if we can find out the fraud happens, if anywhere is fraud happens, then we can find out, we can detect the fraud. And after that, we have seen some steps of the data science. There are 5 steps of the data science, which are asking an interesting question, obtaining the data science, then exploring the data, modeling the data, communicating and visualizing the results. That means first you have to think about the questions, you have to ask interesting question to yourself, which type of data you need, what will happen after collecting the data. Even after that, you have to think whatever you have got, what output you have to get. After that, obtaining data, you have to collect the data from different sources. After obtaining the data, you have to explore that data, and after exploring the data, it is the main step, which is the modeling of the data. Modeling the data, what you have to provide, what it will provide, you have to think about it. And the last step is the communicating and visualizing the results. That means after all steps, you will get the results, you have to visualize the result, you have to communicate about the result, and you have to discuss about the outputs, which outputs you will get, which outputs you have to work. After that, now we will move towards our main topics. Our contents are, what is the mathematics in data science, why we need of mathematics in data science. Next, vector, how to create vector in R, what are types of vectors in R. All these things we will cover in this session. First, what is mathematics in the data science? Mathematics. Everyone knows about the mathematics and everyone is familiar with the mathematics. By definition, mathematics is the science and study of quality, structure, space and change. Definitely, actually mathematics will contain the all types of qualities, all type of structure, even it will introduce some changes also. It seek out some patterns, it will formulate the new conjectures, establish the truth by rigorous deduction from appropriate chosen axioms and definition. Obviously, generally mathematics contains some patterns, it will formulate some conjecture, it will establish some truth, rigorous deduction. That means mathematics is containing some quality, structure, space and change, and it is containing again the patterns also. And mathematics and statistics for the data science are essential because these disciplines form the basic foundation of all the machine learning algorithms. These mathematics and statistics nowadays are using in the data science also, because every time we need the some formulation, we need the some calculations by using the some machine learning algorithms. And in fact, mathematics is behind everything around us, from shapes, patterns, and colors to the count of petals in a flower. That means in mathematics, generally it will contain all type of the shapes, all type of colors, and for example, we can say that count of the petals in the flower. That means the what mathematics can contain some space shapes, some qualities, some structure. It is used in the machine learning algorithms. That's why data science is in data science we can use the mathematics and statistics also. Why we need of mathematics in data science? Actually, mathematics has gained a greater significance in the field of the latest technologies like machine learning, artificial intelligence, data science, deep learning, and many more technologies. Obviously, when we are talking about the data science, that data science will contain the some algorithms like machine learning. It is containing the some artificial intelligence algorithm, data science, deep learning, and so many technologies are involved. And all these technologies are using the mathematics. And in every technologies nowadays, mathematics is playing very important role. And every new technology in today's world is directly or indirectly related to mathematics to develop the smart and simple solution for the problem. Obviously, nowadays, whenever you will see any technology, it will directly or indirectly related to the mathematics. And mostly, when we are using the mathematics, it will help to develop smart and simple solution for the given problems. At present, mathematics is ruling the world like a monarch through its application in diversified field. It is helping in many industries like software, medical, automobile, designing, and robotic industry. It is using many more workspaces with its different math function, new techniques, theorems, and algorithms. Actually, we know that data science is totally related to only data. But nowadays, what happened that data science is using so many algorithms, so that's why mathematics and statistics we have to use for solving so many problems. And these mathematics generally is using in different industries, like we can say software, medical, automobile, designing, robotic industry. Every industry is using mathematics, and it is using in every more workspaces with its different functions. It's using different techniques, even mathematics containing the some different theorems, some algorithms. Everywhere mathematics is a very important portion. We know that mathematics is playing essential role in the latest technology. I already told that nowadays mathematics is playing very important role in the some technologies like machine learning algorithm, artificial intelligence, data science, deep learning, because every algorithm is built with the some latest technologies which are containing some mathematical functions, some mathematical algorithms. And this mathematics will help you to build some logic behind the every problem. And in we can encounter in our day-to-day applications. Now we will see about the vectors. I know you are very familiar with the vector, but whenever we are talking about the vector, some points will come in our mind. Obviously, that points are magnitude and direction. But what is the vector? Actually, vector is quantity and phenomenon that contain that contain the two independent properties which are magnitude and direction. The term also denotes the mathematical or geometrical representation of such quantity. Actually, magnitude and direction, both terms are denote some mathematical and geometrical representation. And in machine learning, feature vectors are used to represent numeric and symbolic characteristics which are called as features of an object in the mathematical and easily analyzable way. Actually, in machine learning, there are some feature vectors which are showing the some characteristics, which are showing some symbolic characteristics, and some are showing showing some numeric characteristics. And both characteristics are very important in the mathematical format, and these are very important for many different areas of the machine learning and for the pattern processing also. For example, when we will see that person ran for 2 kilometers, then obviously it will show about the scalar. But when we will say that person ran for 2 kilometers northeast from his initial position, that means it's showing the vector. From this point, we can understand that when we are showing about the direction and we are showing about the magnitude, then it is the vector. And when it is showing only magnitude, then it is the only scalar. So, whenever we will talk about the vector, obviously both properties are included in that component. These properties are magnitude and direction. Generally, if we have to show the vector, if you have to generate the vector, then we can use the arrow. That means X arrow, or you can show that X in the bold. Actually, vectors are generally broken into the components, and these are some individual members of the vector. We use the notation for denoting the element, and we are referring to the illustrated. For example, X bar is equal to, we have three values, 3, 6, 8. Then we got, that means X1 is equal to 3, X2 is equal to 6, and X3 is equal to 8. All these are values of X. Consider that we measure the average satisfaction rating from 0 to 100 of employees for 3 different departments of a company, as being 57 for HR, 89 for engineering, 94 for management. That means these things we can show in the form of vector. Our vector will be in the form of always x1, x2 and x3. And these values we can show as a HR, engineering and management. That means HR is equal to 57, engineering is showing for 89 and management for 94. This vector holds 3 different bits of information about our data, and this is the perfect use of vector in the data science. Now, how to create a vector in R? Actually, there are different functions where we can create the vector by using the R programming. First, by using the C function. Whenever we will use C function, that function is used to create the vector. In R programming, in R Studio, first you have to declare any variable, and I have declared here VEC. Then you have to provide the input. You have to provide the input, and for providing the input you have to use here C function with some values. I provided here some values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and after that you have to you have to print this vector, so you can write directly VEC, otherwise you can write print of VEC, and then you have to click on the run. You will get the output like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means your vector will be printed. Second one, using assign function. Another way to create vector is assign function. And when you will use the assign function, at that time you have to declare some variable, and again you have to use the C function also. That means I used here VEC2, then comma C function 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and after that I printed the VEC2. After executing, I will get the output 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then using operator. Actually operator is showing as a colon. We can show as a colon. But it is easy way to make integer vectors is to use the operator. And operator is used to print the some range. For example, I have to provide the vector VEC3. I will provide some inputs 1 to 20. That means it will print the values from 1 to 20, and after that you have to print VEC3. After executing, you will get the values from 1, 2, 3 up to 20 numbers. That means in vector, by using the operator, you are printing the values from 1 to 20 from the range 1 to 20. Now we will see the types of vectors in R. Vector can be of different types depending on the elements it contains. These may be numeric vector. First is numeric vectors. That means vector will contain some numeric values. And for numeric vector, I used here NUM underscore VEC. That means I will use here as a X. I will provide the some value C of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I have to print the X. Then I will write only X. And both statement I will execute. After executing, I will get this output. Then integer vectors. That integer vector will contain some only integer values. In integer vector values, you have to use for printing the integer values, you have to use with these numbers L. You have to use L with these numbers. That means after, if you wrote only 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then it will print only numbers. It will show the numeric values. But for integer values, you have to print you have to give the input as a 6L, 7L, 8L. That means you have to print with the L. After that, you will get the output 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 as an integer. Then logical vectors. Vectors containing logical values of true and false. And logical vector contain true, false, true, false. Just I provided some values and it will give the output as a true, false, true, false. Then character vectors. Vectors will contain some text and character vector A1, A2, BC, A, NE. That means I provide the C function. I used here C function and I provided the some values and I printed the some characters value. After that, complex vectors. Vector containing some complex values. Complex vector, I used here C function and then 12 plus 1i, always 3i. All these are complex values. That means there are 5 different types of the vectors in R. numeric vectors, integer vectors, logical vectors, character vectors and complex vectors. Now we will see the joining point of the vector. In joining point of the vector, first you have to consider here P1 as a x1, y1, z1 and P2, x2, y2, z2. These are initial point and terminal point respectively. Then vector joining P1 and P2 is given by vector P1, P2 arrow. Joining the points P1 and P2 with origin O and applying triangle law of addition. Here you can say that there is a x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. By using these things, we can join these 2 points. There are 2 points P1 and P2. P1 are containing some coordinate, P2 is containing some coordinate x2, y2 and z2 and P1 is containing some coordinate x1, y1, z1. Now we will see some examples of the vector joining 2 points. First, find the vector and its magnitude which joins the point A of 4, 5, 6 and B of 10, 11, 12. As the vector is directed from point A to point B and it is denoted as a AB vector. It is denoted as a AB vector. So how we will get the vector and its magnitude? So for finding the vector, we have to write AB vector is equal to, obviously for this purpose we have to decrease some values, we have to subtract the some values. So from these values we have to subtract, from B we have to subtract values of A. So first 10 minus 4 I cap plus 11 minus 5 j cap plus 12 minus 6 k cap. After that 6i, 6j plus 6k. That means this is our AB vector. This is our AB vector. But now we have to find out the magnitude. We have to find out the magnitude. And magnitude means we have to do square root of squares of these coefficients of vectors. That means 6 square plus 6 square is equal to under root of 36 plus 36 plus 36 and it is near about 10 point something, 10.3 something. This is our magnitude and magnitude always we will show like this. Now second one, there is another question. Find the vector joining point P with coordinate 1, 2, 3, Q with coordinate 6, 5, 4 directed to point Q from P. In previous example, they have directly mentioned that joins the point A to B. But now here they changed some language and they told that join directed to point Q from P. So we have to find out the vector PQ. Vector PQ. How we will find out? Then directly 6 minus 1 I cap plus 5 minus 2 j cap plus 4 minus 3 k cap. That means 5i 3j plus k. This is the vector. Here we have to find out only vector. Here mentioned some P point or P is a 1, 2, 3. Q is 6, 5, 4. These all things have given. And here we have to find out only PQ vector. In previous problem, we have to find out the magnitude also. But in this problem, we have to find out only vector. Now, in next problem, we have to find out the vector of midpoint of the vector. Actually, position vector of midpoint are of vector joining points P 2, 3, 4, Q 4, 1, -2. These points are given. We have to find out the midpoint of the vector. For example, we can consider that this is the PQ. This is the PQ line. And there is a O. So we can consider, we have to find out the midpoint. So what we will consider OR vector. And we will find out this is 2i plus 3j plus 4k. 4i plus q 4i plus 1j plus 2k. Now we have to find out the midpoint. So we will divide by 2. 2i and 4i. 2i plus 4i plus 3j plus j and 4k plus 2k and divided by 2. 6i 4j plus 6k divided by 2. Our midpoint is 3i plus 2j plus 3k. This is our midpoint. Midpoint of the vector. Now we will see some matrices. Actually, matrices is not about the combination of only rows and columns. Actually, matrix is a two-dimensional representation of arrays of numbers. Matrices have two main characteristics, which are dimension of matrix generally denoted by n by m, and it will contain, that means it is showing that n as a rows and m as a columns. Matrices are denoted using some capital boldface letters such as X. You have to consider some example. This is the matrix example and this is 3 by 2 matrix which is containing the 3 rows and 2 columns. If matrix has a same number of rows and same number of columns, then it is called as the square matrix. Actually, it is arguably one of the most important mathematical object in our toolkit, and we have to organize the information. And we can say that matrix is containing some organized information. And this organized information we can show in the form of these things: HR, engineering and management. And every vector, these 3 vectors, each holding their own values, own score. X has value 57, 89 and 94. There is a Y value and there is a Z value. That means every vector has their own value, and every values are very important for us. We need to have 100 different one-dimensional arrays to hold the information. Now, just you have to consider this problem. We have to consider some department. For example, we have some department HR, engineering and management, and there are containing some offices, office 1, office 2 and office 3. These things we have to show in the form of matrix. So what we will do, we will consider as a X matrix and we will keep these values as a 57, 89 and 94. 67, 87, 84. Then 65, 98 and 60. Now we kept these values in the form of matrix, and these things we can use in the data science. By using these things, we have to solve some questions. First, if we add the 4th office, would we need a new column or row? Obviously, If we have to add office 4, then we will add here. That means office 4. That means we have to add new column. So here answer is a column. What would the dimension of matrix after we add the fourth office? Obviously, if we add the fourth office, then what will be the dimension? Its dimension will be 4 by 3. If we eliminate management department from the original matrix, what would the dimension of the new matrix? We have to remove the management. So, our new dimension will be 2 by 3. Our new dimension will be 2 by 3. What is general formula to know the number of elements in the matrix? See, whenever we will use the formula, that formula is n by m. That formula is n by m. So there is one example of matrix. We have two vectors A and B. Everyone has different values. First, we have to find out the AB value. We have to find the products of AB and then BA. After that, we have to find out some equations. And we have to find out the values of X, Y, Z by using this A and B. So how we will find out? First, AB vector, AB matrix. We have to calculate these things. Whenever we have to calculate the AB product, first you have to write AB and you have to mention, you have to do dot product. Here, you can directly you can directly multiply minus 5 into 1 minus 5. That means we can solve directly here. Minus 5 into 5 minus 5. Then 1 into 3, 3. Then 3 into 2, 6. After that, first row, second column. Minus 5 into 1, minus 5. Then again 1 into 2 plus 2. Then 3. Again we have to find out minus 5 into 2 minus 10. Then 1 into 1, 1. 3 into 3, 9. That means you have to find out like this. First column, first row, first column. First row, second column. First row, third column. Then you have to find out by using second row, third column. That means you have to multiply everything. Second row, third column. Second row, third column. You will get all these values and you have to find out the one single value. So whenever you will find out you will calculate the values, you will get the 4, 0, 0, 0, 4, 0, 0, 0, 4. That means this is your AB vector. Then you have to find out again BA vector. That means here first there will be B. This is your A. Now you have to calculate these things. After calculating, you will get these values. Same technique you have to use. First column, first row, first column. First row, second column, first row, third column. That means minus 5 plus 7 and then plus 2. 1 into minus 5, 1 into 7, 2 into 1. Then 1 into 1, 1 into 1 and 2 into minus 1. According to this, you have to solve all these. All these values, you have to find out all these values and finally you will get the BA value. BA. And when you will see that here A and B, AB and BA both are equal. Both are equal. So after that you have to find out, you have to solve this equation. And when you will solve this equation, first before solving this equation, first you have to find out the B. Here our A is, by using this equation, A 1, then 3 and 2. 3, 2. Then again 1, 2, 1. And these things 2, 1 and 3. That means our matrix will be in the form of x1, x2, x3, y1, y2, y3, and z1, z2, z3. You have to keep values according to this. After that, these are the b vector. So our b vector will be 1, 7, 2. Now you have to find out the first determinant. How we will find out the determinant? First, we will consider the one cross multiplication. 3 into 6 minus 1. Again, minus 1, 1, 3 into 3 and 2 into 1. 9 minus 2 plus 2. That means 3 into 1, 2 into 2. That means 3 minus 4. Now you have to solve these things and you will get the determinant of A is equal to minus 4. After that, you have to find out first adjoint of A. And whenever you will find out the adjoint A, you have to consider these values like this. You have to consider this adjoint of A plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus. That means your values will be in the form of like this. And you have to solve everything. First, whenever you will find out these values, first thing you have to keep mind, first row and first column, you have to avoid and you have to solve 3 into 2, 6 and 1 into 1, 1. That means 6 minus 1. After that second, you have to avoid first row, second column. 3 into 3, 9 minus 2 into 1, 2. After that, you have to consider first row, third column. 3 into 1 and 2 into 2. That means according to this, you have to find out all these values adjoint of A, and after that you have to first for adjoint A, you have to use a transpose A. You have to transpose, and after transposing, you will get the adjoint of A values and your adjoint inverse values. First, you have to find out the inverse value, and your inverse formula is that 1 upon determinant adjoint of A. And our determinant is minus 4. Our determinant we got minus 4 and our adjoint A we got this thing, and you have to solve all these things, and after that you will get the XYZ, and for finding out the XYZ you have to calculate with this B. So you have to use 1, 7, 2 matrix, and after calculating first 5 into 1 minus 1 into 7 and minus 3 into 2. 5 minus 7, 6. You have to calculate like this. 5 into minus 1 into minus 3 into 2, 6. 5 into 1, 5, plus minus 1 into 7, minus 7, minus 3 into 2, minus 6. Now you have to solve this thing. After that, minus 7 into 1, minus 7, minus 1 into 7, minus 7, and 5 into 2 is equal to 10. And after lastly, 7 minus 1 into minus 1 into 1 minus 1 plus 1 into 7, 7 minus 1 into 2 minus 2. You have to solve. That means 5 minus 7 minus 6, we will get here minus 4. Here we will get minus 4, and again here we will get 4. So after that, you have to divide by 4. After dividing, you will get these values like 1, 1, minus 1. sorry, 5 minus 7 minus 2 and minus 6, this is the 8. So it will be 2, 1, minus 1. That means your x, y, z values are 2, 1, minus 1. This is all about the vectors and matrices. These are some references. You can refer these sites, and this book is there, so you can refer. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.